Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here, and welcome to some Mechwarrior 5 potential news, or potentially not, depends on how you look at it. Sarna.net does their roundup for each month of Battletech, and one of the things that they were pointing out is clans might be coming to Mech 5. Now, I've talked about this quite in depth on my stream, is that PGI has mentioned potential clan, but they've always sort of stated it'll be Mechwarrior 6, that it just makes more sense for marketing and PR. Well, it just so happens that someone has been going through the files in Mech 5, and it looks like someone has revealed some potentially new content, or at least that's what we thought. And as of last night, I had retweeted this and said, hey, this is interesting. As you know, well, they've stated that potentially Mech 6, right? And so this is a really cool article. Definitely recommend head over to Sarna.net. They do these roundup articles every single month. So if you just want to be up to date, quick shout out to Sarna. They're absolutely fantastic resource. So head over there and check them out. Follow them on Twitter and so forth and so on. But as far as this, obviously they said, well, this is interesting because we were, under the, impression that if they were to do a Mech 6, it would be under, again, clan invasion, so forth. Well, I tweeted out last night, this is interesting, and I actually got a response from one of the devs. So let's go take a look at that. And this is in response to my tweet from last night. Some interesting info about Mechwarrior 5 mercs. Speculation abound due to the lack of communication from Piranha Games in general regarding the plans for both MWO and Mechwarrior 5 mercs. Seriously though, who do I reach out to for a podcast in regards to Mech 5? And I still hold that true. Obviously, you said many of these questions came up in a recent podcast to do with First Circuit. Feel free to check out the answers. The only problem I have with this is where was this information outside of just that? I'm just going to toss that out there. There needs to be other official forms of communication as well, whatever's going on with Mech 5. Who's in charge? They say talk to Darren and Matt. I still haven't got a name for whoever is in charge of Mech 5, and I can sit down and have a conversation. I don't know, just tossing it out there. Chris Lowry goes on to say, but to speak directly on the photographed factions that aren't in game, I wouldn't put much stock into that. The real reason they're there is simply future-proofing content to account for potential mods, as those faction files are vital to the number of systems in game. I want to be looking at those for any hints of future content. They are pretty much blank files. The main reason they're there is that if anybody wanted to mod in any faction that isn't in the current game, they should use the pre-established file that we have in there. So let's say we develop an expansion with an unused faction, but someone already modded that faction in. If they modded in using completely new files with completely different directories, using us adding that faction in would badly break their mod. But if modders use these pre-established blank faction files and we added the faction later using those exact same files, there's a much lower chance of us completely breaking whatever mod they made if we are refining the same files in the same directory. This is pretty much all of those blank files referenced in the Sarna.net article. They exist solely to be named plus file type occupying areas of the project directory. We want those things to be minimized in the severity of the mods break-in. So there's your answer. It doesn't look like any clans in Mech 6, or at least supposedly. Got to take it with a grain of salt, and because that's just how it works. But Chris Lowry, who's involved with Mechwarrior 5, basically is saying that no, it's just there strictly to help modders. That being said, haven't seen any modders actually do any new factions as far as that's concerned. That's a pretty big undertaking, but maybe it's possible out there. And again, I think this sort of is just sort of pointing out that, from a marketing PR standpoint, a clan invasion would be Mech 6. Now, they haven't said anything about any new DLC, and as soon as a new DLC is and if announced, I will cover that. So it looks like, no clans, but there's hope for future clan stuff for Mech 6 still. But who knows? Maybe it's all just a big ruse and we're going to get a big expansion or DLC. Who knows? Just figured I'd report on that as far as, Mechwarrior 5 is concerned. Enjoy. If you would like to see a clan invasion, or what would you like to see? Would you want to partake in the clan invasion? Or there's a lot of people that are Intersphere wars that would still want to fight against them, but I feel like we've already done that. Let me know down in the comments down below, which side of the fight would you be on? What would you like to see? Let me know. See you on the next video. Until next time.